Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. Question of the night. Do you care about Gregory and Alexis' story? I had a bunch of different ideas floating through my head, thinking about what I want to talk about, because it was a lot of them. But as I was sitting there thinking about today's episode, I was just like, does anyone actually care about the storyline? You know, we're going to get into a lot of different theories for a lot of different shows, GH, Days, B&B, Y&R. We're going to get into all of it. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below if you actually care about the storyline. Why? Why not? What's good, Black Mom? What's good, Amy? Thank you for joining. And Amy, thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, this time I'm actually, what's good, Mel? This time, I think I may miss some people as they're coming in, but I want to sit there and write my first poll question. What's good, Monique? What's good, Skinner? All right. What's good, Solomon? Now, I know people are still coming in, so I'm going to sit there and give it a little bit of extra time. What's good, Solomon? Thank you for joining. Yeah. Does anyone actually care about that storyline so far? Joshua's in the chat. How you been, Joshua? It's been a hot minute. How have you been doing? Yeah, it's a couple of different questions I'm going to sit there and ask, and if I can sit there and put up a good poll question, you know, um, I'll put one up. I'm still working on that whole Q&R thing, Q&A thing. I'm glad you're good, Joshua. It's been a minute since I've seen you, so it's good to see you in the chat again. With soap operas, is everyone watching? I know when I do these shows, these live streams and stuff like that, people are watching different shows. I know Mel, I know you watch Days, you watch Y&R, and I think you watch B&B, but let me know what your thoughts are. What are y'all watching right now? Is everyone watching General Hospital? Or is everyone just kind of picking and choosing? I want to know in the comment section. Yeah, Solomon. I pretty much just kind of put my foot in my mouth, and yeah, this long story short, I put my foot in my mouth. So I hope she's okay. I hope she's not angry, and hopefully, I apologize multiple times. I even sent her an email, expressing, how sorry I was. So I hope she takes that into consideration as far as coming back to the live stream because I can't. The thing is, I care about everyone here. And I think that's why I took it so hard because I care about everyone here, and I don't want to ever make anyone feel uncomfortable or whatever. So time will tell. What's good, Laura? What's good, Laura B? What's good, Janet? Thank you for joining. How you doing this Friday night? Joshua says I saw why not that. I'm sure that Mariah and Tad's baby storyline is being overshadowed by the whole. Oh yeah, no. Honestly, tell you the truth, Joshua, I'm even surprised they have a storyline. They had all their important stuff that you would want to see happen off screen. Skinner says I'm neutral on the whole Gregory and Alexis thing. Was good to have Lynn. Jenna, I'm glad to have you here. I am so glad to have you here. So thank you for joining. What's good, Dolly? Thank you for joining. Oh wow, really, Mel? Primetime show called. Oh wow, that's crazy. What's good, Grams TV? Thank you for joining. What you thought of General Hospital today? Laura B says I once liked Gregory and Alexis, but I lost interest. What made you lose interest, Laura B? Skinner says I really want to see Alexis and Sunny hook up. Old school. You remember how that? Well, I mean, how that turned out. Christina was born um, during their one night stand. What's good, Darby? Thank you for joining. What's good, CW? What is good, Victoria? Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's weird. It's weird now because I didn't watch the show long enough to get super attached to him. So if they find a nice replacement, I think I'd be cool with it. That's the second time that he got replaced already. Like the other actor left or whatever. Now he's there and he's leaving. It's crazy. Davlin said I lost interest, and yeah, I think some people actually did like him at first. Now just like whatever. What's good, CW? GH was better than yesterday. Yeah, it was. I will say that. Yes, it was. Monique says Nick insecurity is showing in his relationship with Sally. If you have to constantly tell people who, oh, we're solid all the time, then maybe you're not. So Monique, which, I mean, it's probably an obvious question, but do you like Adam more than Nick, or it's just an observation? I'm very curious. What's good, Joy? Thank you for joining. Oh, it's moving too slow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's funny, Larby. Somebody else said that too in the chat. Grand TV said I didn't watch. I didn't get to watch it yet, but how was it? It was better. It was better. It was better than it was yesterday. Grand TV. Joshua has become a member. Thank you for joining, Joshua. What's good, Cheyenne? Shauna says Alexis is too messy. I see where Christy gets it. I wonder, Shauna. I wonder what Gregory's hiding. I think he may be sick. Thank you for joining, Joshua. Thank you for being a member. Thank you so much. Skinner said Chance has had. Yeah, it's crazy because I mean, I haven't watched the show that long, but I watched a little short clip of somebody explaining like how many times he's been recast. I'm like, what is going on? Janice says I like Adam better. Why do you like Adam better? I'm just curious because I haven't watched the show that long, so I don't really know their qualities and stuff. CW says I wonder why Dan told. Exactly. See, that's what I said the same thing. CW. I was like, he came. She came at him like she was being represented by somebody else. Joey says Christina is she starting to use Molly and Christina again. Hopefully they give him a good storyline. What's good, Freddie? Hopefully they give him a good storyline. Because I sat there and I thought about that for a hot minute. Um, and that may be my next poll question. We'll see. Victoria says I saw your review. I think Diana is representing Esme because Martin is serving. Well, I mean, Victoria, but Spencer hired Diane. So wouldn't she have to sit there and tell him that she's representing Esme before she just does that? Like before she just switch sides like that? Someone said, did anyone see the end of Young and the Restless? Definitely sent Albert did you find out who pregnant on GH? Oh, definitely. They said that Molly might be pregnant. The testing was for Molly. So yeah, so yeah, they said it's Molly, but we don't know if she's gonna be pregnant yet though. So we're still waiting for that to happen. And Monique says it's obvious I have witnessed from watching Wino for so long. He was like that with Phyllis, constantly telling people we're good together. She gets them. Yep. Laura B says that's a good question. Okay. Monique says Steve will make Days debut. Oh, Steve. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Monique. It took me unfair because I was like Steve. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, Janet. They got. It's funny. I guess it's just one of those things that goes over my head. I've never understood chemistry, and maybe I will one day. Maybe I will understand that one day. Now, Laura B says, I like Sam, but I'm glad she's not pregnant. Yeah, Dante. Yeah, Dante was like, yeah, we ain't doing no more kids. Of course, now, of course, no, that sucks that your cable went out though. So I trust me to happen. I'm sorry that it went out. Do you have internet? Well, okay, that's kind of a stupid question. You obviously have internet, or do you have the internet? Because you could be using your phone. Well, yeah, de Havilland definitely they do, but there's a reason for that, but it's still stupid. I'm gonna say. Now, Shauna says, how did Jeremy he get Phyllis? Oh, Shauna, she was running around all like drunk and everything like that. Um, after her little drunken mess, and she just ended up at Phyllis' place. I mean, ended up at Jeremy's place. It seemed like she went to Jeremy's place. Now Mel says Sasha, yeah, Sasha, who plays Lois, is now returning to Young and the Restless because she is on the Flash movie and making another one called. Oh, okay. Hmm. Mel, I mean, okay. Well, that's a really good question. Was she? Where's my damn pen at? Ah, did you know my pen? I love how I literally could not find a pen to save my life. But I'm wondering if she. Well, hold on. Let me write her name down. This way I won't. Oh, you're using your phone. Okay. Oh, that sucks. I am so sorry to hear that. And what's good, Karen? Chris Christian, why do you watch it? You don't seem to like it. Um, I mean, it's kind of it's an interesting question that you. And hold on, let me make sure I got your name right. Crystal, is that how you pronounce your name? Crystal. I like GH, but there's things I don't. I mean, I like GH. I do. GH has some problems, and I do generally tend to point them out, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. I want them to fix those problems. That's just what it comes down to. I mean, I watch all four of the soap operas. I've been watching GH since high school. Oh, nice. Okay, Cheyenne, good. Yeah, yeah. I'm very hypercritical of GH. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just it's one of those shows where it's like even if I'm not liking all the storylines or liking the show a little bit, I'm still gonna watch it. You know, I get it's kind of a weird question because I am very hypercritical of it, but you know, Dolly, I actually liked it. I liked it. I'm not gonna. At first, I thought it was gonna be. Dolly, at first, I thought it was gonna be filler. But then, I don't know what's going on with the actor and stuff like that. So I guess it made sense. It made sense. So I'm cool with it. We get, honestly, tell you the truth, Dolly, we get to sit there and see a different side of her. So I'm with it. Freddie says I dozed off on the Alexis and Gregory scene. Yeah, they honestly tell you the truth, they never really worked for me. If we're gonna be honest, Karen says, "Do I care about Alexis?" Oh no, yeah, okay. Kenya's in the chat. Was Kenya? CW says he has a poll question, Albert. Who's more self-absorbed, Hope Logan or Nina Reeves? Hmm. I wish I could sit there and answer that question. I wish I could sit there and do a poll question here for it, but for some odd reason, and what's good, Shakira, every time I actually try to do one of those type of questions, it blocks out the chat. So yeah, Darby, and again, we get to sit there and see. I don't know who that is, Cheyenne. I have no, I have no idea who that is. It'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see a different side of her. You know, we get to sit there and see maybe if she runs up against somebody like EJ Demera or Shin Lee or anyone else. How is that going to play out? So, and Dolly, when we really think about it, that's another example of them using their vets. Something that GH seems to constantly fail at. GH constantly seems to fail at that. Now, I wish they would get better, but well, I could wish for a lot of things. I wish for a lot of things. Darby says, or maybe the returning Megan America. Yeah, Megan Halfway. But you know what, Dolly? They're working it out, though. Like my friend James says, they're working it out. I mean, don't get me wrong. On GH, it's nice to sit there and see that they're using Felicia. They're actually using Felicia. So I give them their props for that. Okay, you're gonna see Creed 3. Okay, I was never a huge, I guess, boxing fan. Um, but I've seen a couple of the Rockies. I think the only one I actually really remember is Rocky 4, or the one where he fights. Was it Rocky 2? It's one of the Rockies. Which like the major one where he fights Dolph Lundgren's character? Is it Rocky 4? Right? Shauna says, I would why Sheila says she's tired of Bill. She wasn't tired. Shauna, I'm not gonna lie. That was. Let me tell you something, Shauna, and everyone. When Sheila is saying, thank you, Karen. If Sheila is saying that somebody else is driving her crazy, I mean that's just a joke in itself. That is a joke in itself. Skinner says it's Rocky 5. No, it's Rocky 4. And yeah, I think Karen's right. It's Rocky 4. Dolly says the only thing that sucks a little about Days is the struggling budgets. This would be a perfect time to introduce some of the other karaoke kids. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I'm cool with it for now. I'm cool with it for now. Because, again, Dolly, whenever I sit there and watch G's, they got like about 10,000 people on the show. So I'm cool with it for right now. You can always sit there and switch in characters and switch out characters. I'm cool with that. Jennifer and Jack leaving, I'm cool with that. Allie leaving, I'm cool with that. Will and Sonny, well, I don't know. I mean, I like I said, if they switch it up and they make it work, then I'm with it. King says I need to watch the last two Creed movies and then the new one. Though, actually, I mean, well, also representation now too. I mean, they do have Chanel. I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if people are gonna sit there and get upset about that. That they took out Will. They took out Will, Sonny, and Allie. Oh wait, they still have Chanel and they still have Leo. But I still wonder if people are gonna sit there and be upset about that. That they're not showing as much representation with LGBT. I actually tell you the truth, I'm waiting for that. Darby says, calmer bit Sheila in the butt. Yeah. That's it. It's funny. Oh, okay, Skinner, okay. But then, no, thank you for letting me know because I wasn't. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that movie. Yes, I'm not. When I heard that Dolly, I was like, "Yep." I was like, "Yeah, we're definitely getting into Peacock territory. We're definitely getting into Peacock territory, and I love it." What's good, Jonathan? No, actually, I didn't do one yet. Shakira, I'm thinking of one. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I was thinking of doing a poll. I wasn't too sure. So, yeah, I'll do one. Depends on what kind of thing it is. Um, Freddie says, I love Anna and her sidekick Felicia. They're working together as a team. It's just amazing. But I will say they really scared the mess out of Deputy Mayor. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As silly as it was. Oh yes. Thank you, Shakira. Thank you. I think I left this one up long enough. Oh wow, I did. So 93% people don't care. Shauna says Xander don't want Gwen. He just asked Sarah to try again. She said no. See, this is exactly why I don't feel. This is exactly why I don't feel sorry for what you call it. This is why I don't feel sorry for Gwen. I'm like, you chose this. You chose to sit there and go out with a guy that has no job, no prospects, and is living in a hotel that he can't afford. So yeah. Now CW says, "But who do you think's your favorite Sunny?" Freddie. I mean, you know what, CW? I haven't been watching the show that long, so I can't really answer that. By the time I started watching the show, the other guy left, and then Zachary came in. So I really can't answer that question. Billy says they're bringing in John's son, who's gay and Roman. Okay, all right. Well, I'm with it. I'm with it, Dolly. I'm with it. No, but that's good though, because I was wondering about that. What's good, Jess? That's a good question. Yeah, no, Dolly. That sounds great. Then I'm definitely with it. Sharon says, "Got to do a black manosphere stream soon." Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know why, but I felt like you were gonna say that. I don't think that a lot of people actually care, and the people that did care, they don't care anymore. They don't care anymore. No, but that's great though, Dolly. I'm, you know, I was to tell the truth. I'm always looking forward to what Days is going to be doing more. As much as I like GH, I know somebody was meant to ask me like, why do I like the show? I mean, why do I watch the show if I don't like it? I mean, I'm not going to stop watching it. That's the thing. I've been watching it since high school, so I'm not going to stop watching it. Shauna says everyone's mad because Willow asked Carly to be matron of honor. Is her day. She's been nothing but good to her. Well, yeah, except for the whole little lie part. But besides that, yeah, corned beef and cabbage. But I'm still listening. Okay, Monique. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're still listening, and corned beef sounds really good. Darby says Gregory doesn't need someone who's too much like him intellectually. They need to give him a bad woman like Dr. O or Miss Wu. Ooh. Darby, I'm not gonna lie, the whole Dr. O part, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, Darby, that's a good idea. Dolly says Days usually has lots of history. Dolly says Days is using a lot of their history. GH has some great history, and I just wish they would use it. I wish what's good, Becky D? I wish, okay, I wish that they would actually give Christina a storyline again. I mean, seriously, when you think about when was the last time Christina actually had a great storyline? When was the last time that Maxie actually had a great storyline? Did Molly ever really have a great storyline? You know? What's good, Gloria? Thank you for joining. So yeah, let me ask the question out loud. And this is for the people that watch Days and Days of Our Lives. Do you think Bo is in the fourth too? Okay. I'm gonna leave it up a little bit longer. Darby says I thought Carly didn't like Willow. No, I don't remember that, Darby. What's good, Gloria? Now Gemini says it was great to see Christina. It was, but it's one of those things like I wish they would actually give her like a good story. Nobody said Christina should be one of the show's leads. See how long she's been on the show. Yeah. And Jessica says Maxie went through that stuff with Peter, so that was enough. But Christina definitely needs a storyline. It was good, Gemini. Thank you for joining. Becky Lee says Alexis is digging in Gregory's private business. That's true. But I mean, with that being said, Gregory is still lying. And yeah, even by not saying anything, it's a lie by omission. So it's like, why is he lying for? Shanna says she always liked Willow. Mel retracted her thing. Now Jonathan says 2019 for Christina and Peter, storyline for Max. Yeah. And that's a shame. What's good, Tracy Steve? Thank you for joining. And thank you for the super chat yesterday. I appreciate that. Also, Amy, and I said Amy. What's good, Eagle Fang? What's up? Mike Barnes getting the yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Eagle Fang. That today's episode was hilarious. It was hilarious. Now Dolly says Christina should be GA Sam. Same as equivalent. When you see her, you should know there's gonna be drama. Her nickname should be Hurricane Chris. I like that. I like that. And yes, you are 100% right about that. Shauna said Christy had all the storylines as a team. Yeah, but I mean, she's still in a show. Give her something. Now, Gemini says they're giving Jocelyn boring behind a storyline with the same. I hate Sunny. I hate Nina. Gosh, move on. And yes, I agree with that. Karen says Christina killed it when Sunny came back from the dead. Give her exactly. I wish they would. Johnny says my back hurts from typing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, it was a big in Canada. You know, it's always good. And what's good, Jay Blue? Thank you for joining. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you earlier. Eagle Fang says I can care about Sam. Oh, I couldn't care about Sam and her entire family. Gemini says, and Michael trying to get back at Sonny is so it's also a boring storyline because Michael is still carrying his life. Exactly. I've been, yeah, honestly, tell you the truth, when you said that, we've been saying that for a hot minute. A lot of the different reviews been saying that for a minute. Now, Freddie says, I'm so glad Sasha and Brooklyn had it out because Brooklyn was getting on my nerves. And I don't really care if her and Chase get back together or not. They ruined it ever since Brooklyn sabotaged Chase's job. Skinner says, Sonia and Nina still gross. Monique says, why do Deke and Sheila kiss like they are trying to find treasure? Yeah, you know, it's passion. All right, Jay Blue. No, because I saw somebody comment on you, and I was like, oh wait, Jay Blue's on chat. Max, no, Eagle Fang says Max, he still cares about Austin. I wonder if they are going to try again with those two. No, no, Eagle Fang, they're not. I let's just put it this way. I highly doubt they're gonna do that. Yes, no, I saw it. I saw it, Shakira. It's good. It's good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. But no, trust me. They're not gonna put those two back together. They're just not. You know, Karen, a lot of people like Austin with Ava. A lot of people like Austin with Ava. Also, because I gotta sit there and be a YouTuber. We got 38 people in the chat. We got 17 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, it really does help. Like it really does. We actually got another person in here so far. Um, Gemini and also Joshua actually joined the YouTube membership. So it really does help. Like hitting the like button really does help. And I know I don't like Smith saying it too often because it just sounds kind of annoying after a while, but kind of have to mention it. Karen says, Johnson says so far JH hasn't done anything to make their 60th anniversary. Yeah. Well, Jonathan, when is their anniversary supposed to actually be at though? Like what month is it supposed to be up to? It's been decent so far, I would say. Thomas says one of my friends said Chase and Adam should hook up. Oh, Chance and Adam. Well, I mean, Solomon is does Chance actually go that way though? Thank you, Gemini. Thank you so much. It really does help. Okay, on April 1st. Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Jessica says I wouldn't call Will ungrateful at all. Even think I wish Jage would fire their entire writing staff. Eagle fan, I'm not gonna lie, I was waiting for somebody to say that. I was waiting for somebody to say that. Just says Nina has been nothing but rude to her. Her being her mother doesn't change anything. Gemini says I'm glad Sonny took Jex out of Pikeman's situation because Dex is ridiculous. Well, I'm pretty sure he's still going to be like doing security and stuff like that. And somebody said in the chat the reason why Sonny didn't include Dex was because he still doesn't know him. Like he still doesn't trust him like that. One day I gotta sit there and remember to put hot sauce on. I mean to buy hot sauce. Now Gemini says young and restless need to fire their entire staff also. Well, I mean, Gemini, they already fired like 5 writers so far. So I don't, I don't know how many more people they could fire. Just saying. Nice, Anna. Nice. How is Australia treating you, Anna? You sound like you have a really cool job where you get to sit there and travel around and stuff like that. That's really cool. Johnson says someone said that Sunny may be on to Dex. Hmm, that would be interesting. I mean, you know what they say, fool me once with Dante. Monique says in Nina's mind, she was hope that Willow will come up to her and say, "Hi, Mom." I can see her doing that. I do have a little bit of sympathy for Nina. A little bit. Laura B says, I wouldn't call Willow ungrateful. I don't think she knows while Nina drives. She just can't deal with her right now because of what she did. Yeah, yeah, I can see that, Laura B. Dolly says, oh, what do you think is going to happen? Why not with the. I feel like it's okay. Here's the thing, though. I feel like it's either going to get better or worse. It's either going to get better or worse. I mean, I know from what I understand that they did that for money, saving money and stuff like that. But like, the question is it going to affect the quality of the show? It's hard for me to say that because I've been watching the show that much, and it's like, hmm, some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. You know, time will definitely tell. Becky D says Sonny has always been excellent at watching his own back. Texas Forever already found out. Yeah, Becky D. And I was going, somebody else said that, and I was like, with the whole Dante thing, him infiltrating Sonny's organization was like, all right, that was a one-time thing. That was enough. Um, I don't think that he personally caught on now. I don't. Gemini is waiting until Michael finds out Carly knows about Jackson. Hmm. Exactly, Gemini. Then will his energy change towards Michael? I mean, towards Carly. Oh, Gemini, you're an Adam fan. Awesome. Okay. Darby says unpopular opinion, but Willow needs to get over it concerning me not mean. What's good, Big Samuel? How have you been? It's been a hot minute. Let's everyone say what's up to Samuel. Get over it. I mean, she might just survive this ordeal, maybe with a new lease on life. Forgiveness might be in order. It's possible. I mean, I don't like her, but it's possible. You know, if she's all about forgiveness and second chances. She keeps telling Michael, give Sonny a second chance. Forgive, forgive, forgive. She needs to sit there and take her own advice then. Billy says, I'm wondering if it's going to be full Tyler Perry production. You need multiple writers to keep things organized. And yeah, so you think it's going to be a dip in quality also. Um, Gemini says if people can forgive Victor over and over and over again, then let Adam have a chance. Gemini, how long have you been watching Y&R for? Are you young and restless? Freddie says Spencer don't need to be raising a child. Yeah, Freddie, I think most of the people in the chat can, will side with you on that. Simon says, I believe Harrison is in the fourth tube. Steve Burt. Oh, so Sam, you don't think it's Bo? Because I don't know. For me, I think it's Bo, but that's interesting. CW says Hope needs to get over herself and separate. CW, I'm like, yo, listen, Hope, this is your job that you might not have if you know what I'm saying. If you don't make a decision, if you don't decide to do the right thing, and let Thomas make you look good. I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so dumb. Oh, okay, Gemini. Okay, I don't know. I just started watching it like fully, like maybe since last year. So Jonathan, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's both because it was both last time. Oh, ooh, that's not good, Dolly. Simon says Bo woke up and yeah, I feel like it's Bo. I'm not. Well, I feel like it's Bo that's in there. Well, that's very true. That's very true, Gemini. That's very true. I used to sit there. I used to sit there and watch more like no, all my children with my mother. So I know. You watch whatever they watch. Then Joyce says in the preview we see Bo standing up in the tube. The lady were lying down, so maybe it is Harrison in two. Maybe Joy, but the thing is, last time we saw Harrison, he was writing a confession. He was asking um Hope for like help and stuff like that. So unless they caught Harrison and then like mind wiped him or whatever, then maybe. But now Samuel says nobody forgets Victor. They just can't retaliate against him. Hmm. Freddie says I would rather Kevin and Laura. Yeah, no, John. No, I don't. I don't think it's Harrison and Tube also. Like I said, the last time he was out, he was doing like a confession or whatever. So now Gemini says Young and the Restless has gotten really boring, so I watch every few weeks and it's the same storylines. Yeah, it definitely does seem like it's one. I mean, well, granted, most shows are like that. Like you can jump in and jump out and jump in and jump out. Gemini says the Nicholas storyline is good. Jay Blue says Billy says the way Megan looked at that too lovingly is definitely. But yeah, I can believe that. I mean, well, we're definitely gonna sit there and find out sooner or later. But I can believe that. Oh, Darby. He's talking about on the Young and the Restless. He's talking about on the Young and the Restless. But no, yeah, somebody was saying yesterday that Audra was a snake, and I completely agree with that. Yeah, no, Darby, it's the same thing. It's like if I sit there and say Nicholas, if I say Nicholas, people are gonna sit there and say from GH or Y&R. Samuel says Y&R has never been a soap that. Very true, Donaldson. Now, Samuel says Y&R has never been a soap that does big fallouts like every other. So Y&R fallout has been most times in private, not in front of the unless it's what. Hmm. Johnson says, but woke up, but he didn't leave the tube. Yeah. Now, Anna says the U.S. soaps are a day ahead. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Monique says when Johnson said Adam was going to cause stress by wanting to be at the doctor's appointment, I was like, why shouldn't he be there? That's Adam Child, not Nick. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. That Monique, I would totally agree with you on. And that's another thing, though. You know, like people were okay. Like people were upset that the fact that Nick came there to check on Sally. My whole thing is like, why is nobody getting upset with Sally for that? She was having headaches. She was worried about the baby. And the first person that she calls is Nick, not not Adam, the child's father, but Nick. But yet no one got upset. No one got upset with Sally in that scene. People got so angry with Nick. But let's think about what Sally's doing at this point. Sammy says, why not pull out certain private amongst other family and friends? It's not public like a lot of. Yeah, that's a shame though, Sammy. That's a shame because that's not to tell you the truth. That's what we look for. Johnson says, I'm upset with Sally. Okay, good. At least somebody at least somebody's upset with that chick. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Okay, so 76% says yes. That most likely Bo is in that fourth too. You know, over the weekend, about over the weekend, I mean like tomorrow, I'm probably gonna sit there and try to think of some good poll questions that I could sit there and ask. And maybe I'll try to work on that Q&A thing too. Simon says, I don't care about this baby storyline if Sally isn't going to use it. Vanish. Damn. Okay, Samuel. You know, it's funny though, Samuel. Like DC actually says along the lines like the same thing, so I find that really interesting. Jimeno says Sally wants the fairy tale, but Adam loves her. Nick does not. That is true. That is true. That's the one thing I can sit there and say. I feel here's the thing. I feel that Nick loves her, but Nick isn't in love with her. And loving someone and being in love with someone is two totally different things. It is. Becky D says, shouldn't Sally be able to have whoever she wants as her at her doctor's appointment? No, that's true. No, Jess, she didn't. She didn't even take the test yet. Yeah, no, Darby, and that's the truth of the matter. And I understand why people want Adam to be with Sally as opposed to Nick. You know what I'm saying? Like up until like maybe a few hours ago, I was really thinking about that. You know, Laura B sees also Spencer's anger towards Esme be shining in rainbows until that possession and controlling side comes out when Sally starts to get Adam back and watch Nick say, "We are together now. Let it go." Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. I will say that much. Freddie says when they start playing that creepy music with Victor was holding the baby, the whole scene. I'm not gonna lie, Freddie, and that was the part that I thought was kind of laughable. All he was doing was holding the baby, right? And Laura was like freaking out, like she looked like she wanted to run and just take the baby, snatch the baby out of his hands. I was like, Laura, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I was like, he's just holding a child. Okay, he's not giving off some sort of evil aura and that he's passing to the child. So I didn't understand like the way that Laura was acting was so over the top and so overly dramatic that I was just like, this is somewhat laughable. Jessica says that's what I thought. Was the point of telling TJ if she doesn't know? I don't know. Maybe get him prepared for that talk. It seemed like they had a plan, but there's no backup plan. Like, well, what in case this happens? What in case that happens? What are we going to sit there and do? I mean, they're kind of doing a whole backup plan late now, but still. Now, Dolly says Nick only loves Sharon and occasionally Phyllis if Sharon's. You see, I in some ways I kind of wish that I was watching as long as everyone else because then I would get more of that joke. Jimmy says actually, Adam actually loves Sally and wants her to have a great life. Well, I think Nick does too, but Nick isn't in love with her. China says some might be right. Sally using Nick as a shield. Ottawa 20. Ottawa 20. Ladies and gentlemen, Ottawa 20 is back. I love black and gray morality. Oh, Ottawa 20, how have you been? Laura B says, when I saw Victor holding the baby himself looked uncomfortable. How could you tell? Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could tell. Sammy says, I'm honestly getting annoyed with how Sally is written. They're writing her like a heroine. Hmm. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Auto 20 is back. Jay Blue says, how could they be together for 10 years and never. Yeah, that's weird, right? And they're both smart and intelligent people, so you would think that at least one of them would have brought that up. That's a good question. Dolly asked Otto 20, hey Otto, have you started watching British soaps yet? Okay, you already read it. Okay. King says Spencer looked responsible for his action. Took responsibility for his actions. What do you mean by that? Kenya, what do you mean that he took responsibility for his actions? So not here for that shit. Victor was all. I don't know. You know, it's funny too because I feel like everyone else saw something that I didn't see. Um, Especially with that whole bit. I just looked. I was like, Laura, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Like it's really not. It's really not that big of a deal. Laura B says, didn't Molly say they wanted to have kids after the careers were established? No, she did. No, she did. You know, I guess, Laura B. I guess for me, like, they didn't talk about like what happens if that happens early. You know, Idaho 20 says shows are black and gray morality when they have good guys as anti-heroes and bad guys as serial criminal villains. Okay. Um, just I don't. He's not ready to have a kid. He's a kid himself. Cherie, Sherry, what's good? What's good, Sherry? Victoria says, as step he took away from them with the baby to his daughter Avery. Justin says, I hope they bring in a new woman for Adam. I hate the way Sally keeps sidelining him. Jonathan, somebody was saying that they made, that they, that they were gonna put Heather and Adam together, but now Becky said they were saying why people forgive Spencer and Esme still guilty when it comes to what they did. Darby says like it was that hard to convince him with that giant chip on his shoulders. Yeah. AJ's in the chat. What's good, AJ? And Kenya says, as an own up to his part in the whole thing, he did short stints, but he has a record now. I haven't seen anyone associated with the plot taking responsibility like that. Well, Kenya, I will agree with you to some extent. He did own up to it as far as talked about it. Um, I'm not a fan of the fact that he did take a short stint in prison. Yeah, I know it's on his record, but let's be honest. Um, it's he went to Penville, but I have to tell you, I'm not even going to get into that because I feel like there's reasons why I'm not going to get into that. But the point is, the dude literally was only there for like 3 months, and that was only because he had his money and his connections. Spencer has taken responsibility for his own actions, unlike Esme. Yeah, he spent like 3 months in jail for his actions. When somebody else that did the same thing would have spent a lot longer in jail. Yeah, I'm not exactly feeling that. W says rich person's prison, easy prison. Yeah, exactly. He went to Spring Ridge. You know, he went to Spring Ridge. I mean, even Alexis went to Pentonville. Then he moved to the Spring Ridge. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Auto 20 says, can you tell me what shows are black and gray priority when they have good guys? Um, I don't know, Breaking Bad, The Wire. Those are the only shows I can think of off the top of my head. Or unless you're talking to somebody else. Well, AJ, I will kind of agree with you on that as far as what Esme is getting as opposed to what Spencer's getting. I will agree with you on that. Um, I will say that much. I agree with you on that. Uh, I wouldn't go that far, AJ, but like I said, we not. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you on how long he should have been in jail, but I agree with you on the other part. Jay Blue says true about Spencer and his time served is still time served, but Esme crime were much worse, and I'm waiting to see what. Yeah, I mean, okay. Like I said, I'm gonna agree with you on a healthy dose of agree to disagree on that. That is very true, Jonathan. That is very true. That is very true on that. Mm. I get what I get what you're saying, Kenya. I do. And maybe I'm just honestly tell you the truth right now. I'm just kind of avoiding the situation from yesterday. So that's why that's why for right now I will agree to disagree on that. But to each his own, I guess. Freddie says I think when no, screw that. I really had to sit there and think about for a minute. I was like, nah, screw that. No, 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 no. But if you want to believe that, that's cool. Um, I can't go that far. I mean, I may not want to sit there. I mean, I guess it's debating, but I don't want debating and turn to an argument. There's certain things I can't agree on, and it's not even so much about the whole. Now, Dolly says, "Why is Sean the only person who?" That's very. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? You already. Yeah, I do. Literally spent like 3 months in jail in the Cushy jail. Um, and I get other people have done yada 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 and blah 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 blah. But you know, the whole thing is about the Spencer hate. I don't feel like it's hate. You know, I don't feel like it's hate. That's something else that I want. I'm trying to understand. It's not really hate. If you're criticizing somebody for something that you don't like what they did, it's not hate. You know, most of the times with these characters, yeah, Jay Blue. Okay, I don't like Spencer. I don't like his attitude at times. Um, it's not really hate. It's just you're criticizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's reasons why somebody doesn't like someone. It's not necessarily hate. Okay, yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna go there on that one. Now, Jessica says I don't hate Spencer. He's just very annoying. Yeah. Yes. Now, Joy says even with the memory loss, Esme will still either be in prison or spring risk, so someone has to take care of the baby. It should be Laura. Yeah, I agree with that too, Joy. I do. But I don't know. I guess. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Dolly, you are another one of my rock stars, and I really appreciate you. Um, the one thing that AJ says, of course, he calms you. Hmm? He says Spencer is working practically. Yes, she has his faults, but he's also trying to change. I feel like he gets no credit for that. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, AJ, it's not like he doesn't have a good side to him. Yeah, I've given. Here's the thing: I've given him his props when I feel like he deserves his props. If you watch any one of my reviews, regardless how I feel about a character, even Nina is a character who I don't like. Okay, but I will give her her props when I feel like you know I will give her props when I feel like she deserves her props. But with Spencer, you know, it is what it is. And what's good, Nate? And this is something else I always find funny when people want to defend a character. And this isn't throwing shade at anyone. This is literally any character. Is that they're trying to explain away. Sherry, I don't understand how Trina is entitled though. I don't get that. Now, Nate says, "Did anyone enjoy today's soap? What did you not enjoy soap wise?" To tell the truth, it was okay. All the stuff was okay. It wasn't what's up for Days? Days is usually good. I was to tell you the truth, Nate, I would sit there and say Days was the best one. Days is honestly the best one now. Now have you been doing, Nate? Ensures gets away. I don't see that. I don't see that, Sherry. Sherry. I don't see that. Lord B says, Billy, what on earth are you talking about? But yeah, Sherry, I don't see I honestly tell you the truth, Sherry, I don't know what you're talking about as far as Trina being entitled. You know what it is, Sherry? I mean, Sherry, I don't know if you're I don't think you're a troll. I just don't understand where you're coming from now. Or B says, I get you're disappointed with the story. Yeah, I have to tell you the truth, Monique, yeah. I think a lot of people still miss Julian with her. I mean, Julian with Alexis. Sherry says, hmm. Yeah, Jonathan, it looks like it's going to be good. Marsha. You know what, AJ? It's hard to sit there and tell if that's your voice or not. I don't want to sit there and block somebody because I think it's your voice. Um, I mean, it'll be a little kind of weird if that person did come back just to sit there and argue with people. Nate said Julian was so good with Alexis until they messed it up. Yeah, it's just one of those things, AJ. It's just like I don't know if it's actually your voice or not. So until what I'm saying, it's one of those things. It's like until somebody says something that's like completely out of pocket, then I would sit there and block this person. Now, King says I stand by what I said. There was another person with the same posting style and commenting on their stream. That's all I will say on that going forward. Okay. Well, like I said, if it gets out of hand or whatever, no. Siri says, I get that Trina is a smart, sweet, and brave young girl who always speaks her mind, but people everywhere treats her like Clever saying they're people's princess. Okay. Nate said to answer your question, nope, I don't really give a damn about Alexis and Gregory. Gregory is so boring, and I wish he, along with Finn, were written out. Nate, a lot of people have practically been saying the same thing so far throughout the stream. A lot of people have been saying that, though. Now, Monique says, I believe some women like toxic men because they feel they can change them. Monique, it's funny that you say that because, like, that applies to That applies to Xander and Sarah so much. Which, by the way, that whole storyline with her um hiding her pregnancy, it's I don't get it. I feel like it's just like what the hell. Sherry says like Trina can do no wrong in their eyesight. Dolly says Trina is the kind of princess archetype on the show. She basically the new Emily, and every generation needs an Emily. Shauna says Tom getting his job, see a therapist, and how long will it be? Shauna, what show are you talking about? And what's good, Shakira? Glad you're back. Nate said GH couple days really needs another shakeup and one that makes sense, but another that sticks forget it. Nate, what did you think about the whole confession with Irene and Anna and Felicia? Becky D says I like the end. She was a shy back in the day. Now they're writing her a new romance. Well, Becky D. I was about to sit there. So I was like, I was going to say that she didn't really have a romance back in the day, but technically she did. It just happened off screen. Samuel says, I think GH is being careful with how they write a black heroine character. Many times on soap opera, black characters are backgrounds out there. I applaud GH for writing Trina as a heroine. That's very true, Marsha. That's one of the many reasons why I like Samuel in the chat. Mr. Bear said I felt both actors that played Trina made her appear entitled, but I can't explain it. Okay. I never saw it, but Darby says, didn't Sarah do that in the past? Yeah, exactly. It's funny, Darby. She even said that in the episode. I'm like, well, then what are you doing? And then she's all just like, oh, I can't deal with it right now. And I'm like, so you gonna sit there and like, really? You gonna sit there and do the exact same thing that you did um to Eric? Zemore has become a member. Thank you, Zemore. Thank you, Zemore Keller. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I really appreciate that. Thank you for joining the team. Thank you. I don't see it either, Jess. Cherie says, why does Trina want to change Spencer? Why does Spencer allow her to? You know, I will say that to an extent. I will say that to an extent. There was a point where, Spencer wanted to sit there and win at all costs. And Trina was like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do that? Da, 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 da. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is how the Castellans roll. You're either going to roll with him, you're either going to be the ride or die chick, or you could just exit left. I will give you that, Sherry. I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. W says he's always talking to his mom. Thank you, Zemore Keller. Thank you. Yes, Becky, he's joined the team. Monique says entitled means not having to work for anything, having honestly, yeah, Monique, I would sit there and say that, well, to some extent, Josh is more entitled. If we're gonna be honest, Josh is way more entitled than Trina. You know, Now, Samuel said, I don't think Trina's trying to change Spencer. I think Trina brings out Spencer's better qualities. Also, if Spencer wanted to be with Trina, why would he be less than what she expects? Hmm. That's a good debate, Samuel, because you do have a point. She's not. Hmm, I don't know. I'll have to sit there and think about that one for a hot minute. Jay Blue said, "Hey Albert, that's what Spencer should have said to Trina when she asked those questions." Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm Medora says Spencer and Josh are entitled. That's true, Medora. Although Spencer is way more entitled than Josh is. Um, Zemo says, however, great to be here. Really, thank you, Zemo. Thank you so much. We're gonna have a lot of fun with these exclusive live streams. We spill a lot of tea. We have a really good time. So thank you for joining. I really do appreciate that. AJ said, yeah, Josh is really entitled. Darby says, I thought entitlement always expecting everything to be handed to you when you want it to. Hmm. I feel like Darby. I feel like there's more to that than just what you're saying. That's not saying you're not right, but very good point, Samuel. Nate says no. Just said, oh, I get entitled more from Spencer. Yeah, me too, Jess. Nate said, I thought that was superb and perfect on GH in these scenes between Hannah and Felicia. Yeah, Nate, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "This is kind of silly," but I'm like, if it works and it moves the storyline moving forward, then I'm with it. I'm all with it. Now, Dolly says, "I don't think Trina's trying to change him. She wants to try to voice. She wants to try to be the voice of reason." Spencer and impulsive, sometimes immature. Hmm. I don't see how Jet. I don't see how AJ, but I agree to disagree on that. I will agree to disagree on that. I don't see how, but Shauna, to some extent, she is. She's not as she does not exhibit entitlement nowhere near as much as Spencer, but she does have her moments. Hmm. I'll give you that, AJ. I'll give you that. Johnson says, "What do you think, Maggie?" I like it, Johnson. I like it. It's just for a couple of different reasons. The fact that they're using the vest more. Um, Also, I want to see her in more of an active role. I want to sit there and see, a different side of her, a business side to her. She has to sit there and be cold and calculating and stuff like that. She says she learned some pointers from Victor. So I'm definitely want to sit there and see what it's going to be about. And see, I haven't watched the show that long. Um, and seeing some of these characters is interesting to see how they're going to work them. And Dolly says Joss entitlement is worse her because she has way more enablers. People tell Spencer when he's going too far. Joss is barely ever checked. Mm. Now Marsha says, can a black lady be entitled once in their lives? Mm. Shauna says, Josh, don't talk down to people. Spencer did. That that is very true, Shauna. That is very true. Jamie says Spencer has gotten more vulnerable since Trina has been in his life. He's been a better friend, a better person all around. Now Becky D says, I think anybody that grows up in a wealthy house can appear to outside as entitled just because they grew up used to certain things the rest of us came up without. I agree to some extent, Becky D. To some extent on that. Um, though he says half the town tells Spencer he's a jerk or spoiled. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that, Sammy. I agree with that. Marshall, I agree with that, too. Here's what I will sit there and say. This is for, yeah, no, I agree with that too, Keller. Here's what I will sit there and say about Spencer. Um, I don't think that Spencer is the devil. Okay, I don't think that he's the worst character on the planet. Um, and to be fair, as far as me not liking certain characters, um, Chanel and Days was a whole lot more worse than Spencer is. But I do give my criticisms when I feel like they're deserved, and I will sit there and give him his props when I feel like they're deserved. So I say that because I don't want anyone to sit there thinking that I'm coming after their favorite character and taking it all personal and stuff. I go after all the characters. Okay, there's no one that's going to get spared the rod, point blank. Period. So if it's Trina, if it's Spencer, if it's Josh, if it's Sunny, if it's Dex, if it's Nina, if it's Carly, if it's Michael, if it's Willow, they're all getting the smoke. Okay, I will roast each and every single one of these characters when I see fit. So please do not take it personal. Kind of felt like I had to sit there and do a little PSA for a minute. I know sometimes people tend to sit there and get really angry when I talk about Spencer. I'm like, it's not real. Thank you, AJ. I know people tend to sit there and get upset when I'm talking about. Thank you, AJ. Thank you. Yeah, everyone's getting it. Everyone's getting it. Even my favorite characters will get it in a heartbeat. Okay, and that even goes for EJ on Days of Our Lives. He can get it too. Thank you, Laura B. Thank you. Thank you. Shauna says, does anyone remember the actor playing Spencer as a kid entitled Out of Breath? Always trying to. Yeah, whatever happened to that actor? Um, exactly, Becky D. I'm just like, thank you, CW, thank you. It's just, sometimes I'll sit there and I have these talks or whatever with people, and I'll talk about Joss, and you have somebody sit there and start doing mental gymnastics to sit there and try to defend her, and I'm like, first of all, it's a show. It's not that deep. Um, and the second of all, it is what it is. I don't like this person because of this, that, and the third. This isn't hate. This is you know, just my criticism. My criticism is never meant to sit there and drive people away. It's just is what we're talking about. And don't get me wrong. I've hmm, I've been on some people's channels where it is just like negative 24/7. There's this girl, this woman I was following. I don't even remember her name anymore, but she was negative towards everything. And like after a while, I was just like, "All right, boo, I was like, I can't do this anymore." So I get it, you know. But I do try to be somewhat balanced when it comes to a system, you know. Anna says no one is spared the ride. Yes. Thank you, Anna. Yes, no one is spared the ride. No one is spared the ride, damn it. What's good, Makai? Thank you for joining. Thank you, Shakira. Thank you. Marsha says Joss was young and dumb when she told Esme about that gift. She wanted Esme to know that Spencer is digging Trina. Yvette is in the chat. Yvette says, it was good, Makai. Yvette says, I feel like the people who are writing for Jace do not know history. For one, for instance, and Michael doing all this because Sonny is when Nina did not totally lose it. Yeah, yeah. Yvette. Here's what I call it: plot over common sense and logic. Plot over common sense and logic. Because plot will win out over anything. And that's not even just soap operas. That's just how they write stuff in general sometimes. Simon says Spencer's being entitled is actually normal for a person of his. And yeah, I mean it is. It's true, Samuel, but that doesn't mean that people can't, that doesn't mean that people gotta accept it. Or call him out or not like him for that. But I get what you're saying, Samuel. Monique says one day Josh gonna mouth off at the wrong person. I hope and get hers. I'm hoping. Monique is funny too because when Michael was coming at Miss Wu, even Carly was like, "Yo, you need to kind of just chill out for a minute. You like you need to just kind of chill out for a minute. You might want to just take it down a little bit." Even Carly knew that Miss Wu was not somebody to play with, and Michael was all up in Brad's face with Miss Wu there. Yeah, thank you, Shakira. I appreciate that. Really, Kenya? I don't remember that. Now, Darby says, when does Alexa get off calling? Hmm, that's true, Darby. What? Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Darby says, where does Alex get off calling Xander a loser? I mean, as Justin's son, he had the privilege of being born on Victor's good side. Hmm, good side or bad side? I mean, I, I get where Alex is coming from. Oh, Samuel says that's not what I'm saying. He should be called out, but who is shocked when he acts entitled? That's what I'm. No. You have a very good point, Samuel. You do. You do. You have a very good point. I see where you're coming from, and you're right. Yvette says I want Dex to have some ties to someone in Sunny's past. I think most people do, Yvette. I think most people actually really do. Like be tied to somebody on campus. Um, I mean, my dreams were already kind of busted when I found out he wasn't a fad. I mean, you couldn't just have one Fed, really? But on some level, I can kind of see how that wouldn't be good. It would be just like the Dante situation all over again. Especially if he is connected to like somebody, Sonny's family. Seymour says, "Please don't make Dex Sonny's son." Yeah, no, the joke is Sonny has too many kids, and Nick Newman has too many kids. So I see it. Remember when everyone was guessing that? Yes, Becky. Okay. Freddie says Carly Jr. might end up with a pregnancy too. You know, Freddie, there's so many thumbnails that I wanted to use saying that Joss is pregnant, but somebody was like, about a couple months ago, somebody was like, "Oh, that's clickbait or whatever. I don't really watch your videos if you're clickbaiting people." Which I'm just like, I'm doing it for fun. I'm not trying to clickbait people. Monique says Spencer should change because he wants to, not because of Trina. That's very true. That is very true, Monique. That's the same thing with Sarah and Xander. And the reason why I get so annoyed with Sarah, because Sarah just assumes that Xander's going to change because her love is just so special. And in reality, thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. In reality, you should change because it's the right thing to do. So I totally agree with that, Monique. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yvette says, thank you again, Anna. Thank you. Yvette says, please, no Jocelyn, baby. Too young, and it will be. Yeah, I mean, she's already following her footsteps, so I can totally see it. There's a lot of people that do not want no more babies. Dolly says, what if Dex was AJ's son? Could you imagine AJ's kid knocking out car? Oh, that would be crazy. And I'll be here for it. I will be here for it. AJ says Molly might be pregnant. Yeah. But could you imagine if Molly and Josh are pregnant? I mean, I know this ain't no more babies and stuff like that, but still. Well, Samuel, she might be. She didn't take the test yet. Well, Samuel, did you actually watch G today? Johnson says, I think Xander will go back to the no effort himself. Yeah. Jonathan, I'm not gonna lie. I watched some of these old clips like him and Orpheus and Clyde, and I'm just like that back then, like the dude used to actually be roaming around with a bunch of criminals. Like, I don't even know what to sit there and call that game. Yeah, Marsha, she did. Oh, okay, Sammy, because I was, because sometimes, when I do these reviews, when I do these live streams or whatever, it's like, stuff is getting spoiled and stuff like that. So, my bad, Samuel, if you got spoiled with a lot of this stuff. But it is great to have you in the chat, though. Becky D says, I got the impression that Dex is related through Gloria. Hmm. Interesting, Becky D. And thank you again, Anna. Thank you so much. Becky D says, someone may be in for a rude awakening. Becky D, I'm actually looking forward to, I, I guess, Monday's episode now. I guess. Kind of looking forward to it. Freddie said she has so many babies. Maybe that one of the reasons why storylines move very slowly. It wouldn't wrap up until like a year ago, twice. Well, yes, Freddie, but there's also other reasons why they take so long to wrap up. Um, there is somewhat of a method to the madness. Granted, it frustrates the hell out of people, but there is a method to the madness to some extent. Now, Jay Blue says Molly and TG don't need to wrong. They have enough family to help with. Link says, what if Dex is Lois' son? That would be a good time to bring back Lois. Would be. I mean, I don't know what the actress is doing. AJ says, yes, Molly may want kids, but right now, I think Molly will get. Mm. Oh, Marsha. Oh. It's funny, Marsha, because I know this is a character before I started watching the show. I know she was involved with. Actually, now I think about it, I have no idea who Lois is. I have a vague memory of who she is, but I don't really know specifically. So, and it says no more damn people, not even. That is very, yeah, that's another thing. Well, and I will sit there and say this. Um, unless they plan on kicking some people out, then yeah. If they plan on like removing some people, then I'm all for it. Seymour said, okay. I didn't know about that, J Bloom. That's what somebody else said though too. It could be Brenda's son. Now Monique says Lois is Brooklyn's mom. She was childhood friends with Sonny. They grew up together. Brooklyn father is now. Oh, okay. Thank you, Monique. Thank you. That's very true. Cheyenne says Albert needs to build a V tapper. I have no idea what that is. I don't know what a V tapper is. Cheyenne says Phyllis told him no, she will lose everything. He don't care. He said she doesn't have nothing now. He said he saved her. She owes him. He saved her. Yeah, Sean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that meant when he said that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that meant. Yeah, Marsha, it's funny. That was literally like before my time. I don't know. Like when I caught Quinn, I wasn't a huge fan. Okay. Seymour says Lois and Sunny were friends from the same neighborhood. They were never romantic. Oh, okay. Marsha says that a videotape. Yeah, that's what I was at there saying, Marsha. I was like, I had no idea what a V taper is. I was like, what is that? Now Yvette says I said that because Vanessa was cop about return. Oh, was cop about returning to GH? I don't know what that means, and I feel like depending on what that answer is, it may Texas gal. Have you been Texas gal? I haven't seen you in China. While Jax initially liked Lois, but fell for her business partner Brenda. Hmm. Oh, she might come back. Okay, that'd be cool. I mean, they gotta definitely shove out some more people, but yeah, I'll be with that. Becky says Phyllis was falling off the wagon. Oh, well, I mean, was she ever really on the wagon now? Darby said Adam is going off on some of these junior members of his family. Summer Kyle. I've been good at Texas gal. I've been missing you in the chat though, because I've seen you like a couple of times, but then it was just like I haven't seen you in a hot minute. So it's good seeing you again. Dolly says V taper is when guys get buff and their upper body is shaped kind of like a V. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. I don't know. Sometimes Cheyenne will sit there and say things that's just very random. I'm just like, what? But thank you for your explanation. Yeah, that's so weird. A V taper. I've never heard of that before. Mm. I'll be honest. I'm not. I'll tell you this much, AJ. That happens. I am going to tread so lightly. Well, I mean, eventually, Cheyenne. Like, I'm happy with what I have right now, but eventually, things will get upgraded in time. Simmons says the writers make you feel the same was a mistake because she comes on the show a villain and being crazy. Sammy, I want to ask you a question. Do you think, would you want Esme to be redeemed? I asked that question yesterday because now that I think about it, I would rather have her as a villain. Because at the end of the day, soaps need villains. Point blank, period. And now just that they're talking about writing Esme, redeeming Esme, and it's just like, thank you, Victoria. Last poll of the night. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you. Johnson says, what if Dex is Faith Roscoe's son? Oh, that would be crazy. That would. I totally forgot about Faith Roscoe. I'm not ignoring people, I promise. Johnson says, thank you, Jonathan. Johnson says, and Faith could also be alive. Is that okay? That will be interesting. I would rock with that storyline. And thank you again, Jonathan. I would rock with that storyline. Esme Prince. According to Twilight Saga Wiki, fandom, in 1921, after Jesus, okay. 'Cause I want to get her name right. Okay, I knew I actually no, I wrote it wrong. That is a good question, Victoria. Thank you again, Johnson. Thank you. I'll be totally down for it. So the last poll question of the night, and I don't know. I hope I actually spelled her name right. Should Esme be redeemed? This isn't even really a question of can they redeem her, but should they redeem her? Because you stop and think about it, soaps need a good villain. And for a hot minute, Esme was sent there giving the teams some new breathing life, definitely shaking it up. No, thank you, Victor. As I was sitting there talking about it, and then you were, I was like, that's a really good question. Yeah, should she even be redeemed? Because I mean, they're gonna eventually take down Victor within the next year and a half. So who are they gonna actually have left? Jess says Esme is a good as a villain, but I wouldn't mind seeing her redeemed. Yeah, no, that was a very good question, Victoria. But yeah, even what Jonathan was saying as far as Faith Roscoe, I'm like, that'd be interesting. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember how Faith Roscoe died. Didn't she die like off screen or something like that? Monique says Phyllis should just leave this Diane thing alone. The truth about Diane and her other secrets will come out when you're not trying to expose them. They think they're in the clear. That's very true. Samuel says we don't even have any young villains. Nesme is actually a good one. Keep her as a villain. Okay, good. Keep her as a villain. Laura B says son. Texas Gal says I think Jace didn't know the gym they had in Avery. Curly came on more villainous, but Sarah made you empathize with her. Hmm. Sherry says since Spencer is such an entitled brat, how about making him into a real villain? Jolie says Nadoli says, I say tone her down a bit, but keep her as a calculating rival to Johnson Trina. Simmons says redemption stories are overrated. Some people are just evil. Keep Esme as a villain. In all reality, no. Texas Girl says, I think, geez, okay, I already read that. So, yeah, so far you got 25 people that voting. 68% says um they don't should Esme be redeemed. No, so a lot of people, 68% people, um don't feel like she should be redeemed. They should keep her as a villain. It's very interesting. Yeah, Jess, we do need more villains. We do. We don't actually have enough. Now, Marsha says if she was redeemed, she still needs to be punished for her crimes towards Trina, Josh, Cam, and Ava. Barbie says I was going to say Sunny killed Faith, but it was AJ, and it was okay. Thank you. Mel says Xander and Sarah need to face the music they are going to have. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, Mel, it's Sarah that needs to sit there and face the music. Sarah's the one that's sitting there lying to Xander about that child, just like she lied to Eric. She didn't learn anything, and she's literally doing the exact same thing. Melody says Esme is the type of character who, as mature on the show, could try. Hmm, that's interesting. Texas Gal said they should try a Cam Esme pairing and shake everything and everyone up. That would be that would definitely shake it up. I don't know if it would be in the right direction, but Simmons says, and why do we need to redeem them? Why can't we just have their stories of how they became evil, but not have them change? AJ says, I still don't like Esme. Nate says, Esme should not be redeemed. After everything that happened, she hasn't even paid for what she did to Trina. Beth says I like the actor who is playing Spencer. He is such depth. He can be emotional and mad in a split second. Yeah, no, I mean, but I definitely should think give Nicolas Chavez his props. He is definitely doing it. Like he says, Esme would push Cam over the edge. I don't see them actually hooking up. I don't see him just sitting there taking, being with a woman who put out all his business out on Front Street. I don't see it. Now, Anna says I agree that Cheese does need a good villain, and for a hot minute she was ace if they keep her as a villain, but smooth her and not so upfront. You know what I'm saying? It's funny too, because when I was sitting there thinking about that question, I was like, I'm pretty sure Samuel would say something about Thomas. Now Johnson says if any villain is too much, no, if any villain is to make a GH return, Faith Roscoe be. No, I agree with that. Dara's in the chat. Dara says redemption for Cyrus will lead to interesting storylines, but redemption for Esme will be predictable and boring. So yeah, Dara is definitely on the train of keep her as a villain. Victoria says Ava never really did jail time for killing Condi. That is 100% true. That is 100% true. Joy said Cheese could make Esme like Todd Manning. He did horrible things. Faith for Grievous was good for a while, then did more horrible things. Eventually, he toned down, but still, okay. I like that idea, Joy. I like that idea. Shauna says Cyrus can be redeemed. I was never really buying that anyway. To be honest, it just seemed like it was just so like what? Like I wasn't there for it. I was never there for the whole Cyrus and the whole oh I found Jesus and like it hmm, didn't really do anything for me. Samuel says sometimes villains can be from loving families. That's true. That is very true, Sammy. And that's I mean that's just not just as far as a good villain or a bad villain. It's like you can be a bad person regardless of what family you come from. Darby says, if you could have Mel back, would you let Willow die? No. You know the thing is, Darby, as much as I like, well, I couldn't rock with Nell because she was very one dimensional. It was always getting back at Carly. Carly this, Carly that. I couldn't deal with it. Nell was literally the one character that was like, you know what, I'm good without her. Her running in the dark bushes like an idiot until she fell off the cliff. Really? I mean, in all reality, that's what really started this huge hatred between Nina and Carly. Was Nell. Nell little Nell little dumb behind it decided to run into the dark woods and fall off a cliff like an idiot. Yeah, Freddie, I was never a fan of that. And Darby says, why would Victor listen to Leo? Who said that? John says, I want one now back. I wasn't a huge fan of it. In the beginning, here's the thing, I liked more of her redemption story than anything else because she came there wanting war with Harley. And then she tried to actually be a good person, but it was like the people were just like, nope, 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 nope. Oh yeah, Marshall, apparently they did. Well, I gotta double check because somebody in the chat said that they found her body. Texas Gal says is Willow supposed to be unlikable? She's not Texas Gal. But I feel like a lot of people just do not like Carter. I mean, they do not like Willow at all. They do not want. They do not like Willow. I mean, they call her Weeping Willow for some odd reason. So, well, not the weeping part, but Simmons says it would be interesting to see the break heart from Taylor and Ridge, knowing that their beloved son is a bad person. I'm sick of begging for affection from everyone. Oh wow, okay. Medora says Esme won't be completely redeemed. She will still a somewhat villain. And as to touch you, I feel like that's what we need. That's what we need. We need a good villain. OJ Blue successful. Oh, okay. So that's where that came from. Thank you, Jay Blue. One Nick says every time a character is redeemed, it sometimes don't last long. They try to be good, but something or someone turns them back to being bad again. Like Xander. Like Xander on Days of Our Lives. Darby says if Willow showed a dark side, that would be interesting. That would be. Have a good night, Dolly. Thank you for joining. Yes, exactly. See, every now and then, Sam, we could definitely 100% agree on something. Yes, that would be awesome, though. Victoria says the only person who can bring the dark side of Willow is Nina. She's over Nina's BS. You know, and I said this before. I want to see what it's going to be like when when Old Brick finds out. You know, when Old Brick finds out that Britt saved Josh's life, and how she's going to sit there and treat that. Texas gal said something. Oh, okay, all right. Not a fan of Willow either. AJ said, "Let Willow die." Jesus, okay. Polka Dot is in the chat. What's good, Polka Dot? Nate says, "Yep. Have a good night, Nate. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Nate. Polka Dot, Polka Dot, Polka Dot. I'm gonna, you know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, again, I'm gonna sit there and leave a link to Polka Dot's Instagram because I'm a huge fan and I love her music. So definitely check out Polka Dot's. Um, Link will be in the description box below. But have a good night, Nate. Thank you for joining. Patrick, what is good? Oh, from Panama. Okay. What's good, Patrick? It's been a minute. How have you been? Mel said, I don't feel any sympathy when getting, yeah, exactly. I don't either, Mel. I don't either. And it's funny, Mel. You're more compassionate than I am. Okay, you are more of a compassionate person than I am. Oh, come on. You know, Polka, you know I got your back. Besides, you're actually really good. So, nah, Polka Dots, I love you more. Talented and beautiful. So, just saying. Monique says, okay, let's say Dax's fifth son, who is the father of Rick Lanson, because they were. I didn't know that, Monique. I didn't know that. That'd be interesting. Ooh. And find out that Molly has a brother. Hmm. That would be interesting. And it says, keep Esme as a villain. Yes. Keep her as a villain. Okay, all right, Patrick, all right. Enjoy that vacation. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Because we definitely work hard for what we do. So you got to enjoy the little moments or the big ones. Mel says all these things that Gwen has done for Xander does not mean anything. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Mel, Xander didn't ask Gwen to do all this stuff. You know? Kenya says, I'm waiting for bait breath for when Oprah finds out all the deeds with Britt and Joss and Dex. Yes. I said that earlier. I was like, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that. Because I know we had this discussion before, but I'm gonna sit there and say it again. And I know a lot of people may not want to hear it or may not like it, but I'm gonna say it again. I feel like Joss is responsible for Britt's death. I just do. He just said Willow is ungrateful. I'm not trying to say not because BF with Nina, but be a kind with the woman. Nina's trying to save her life. Yeah, Willow wants to plan a wedding. Hmm. Mm, I don't know. I don't know, AJ. I mean, I get what you're saying, and it's great because you seem like a very compassionate person. Victoria says, "Have a good night, Joy." Victoria said Josh is responsible for two deaths from the viewpoint Brando as well. Well, Victoria, to be fair, the Brando thing wasn't her fault, but because Josh didn't ask Brando to follow her. But I can't go on the Brando thing. As much as I want to, I can't go on the Brando thing. But Brit, yeah, definitely Brit. That's what I'll say. Have a good night, Joy. Thank you for joining. Freddie says I never get tired of watching the Luke and Laura wedding. It's so legendary. Come on, it's Anthony Gear, and Freddie. Hopefully, he does come back at least to end this storyline. At least to end this storyline. Now, Simon says Willow has the longest death I've ever seen. Damn. All right, Sam. Samuel, tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel about Willow. Now, AJ said yes, Josh is part to blame for. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, AJ, she definitely, Heather definitely made a choice. So I'm not putting all of that on Josh, but Shauna says I think Chase having second thoughts about Brooklyn, but she is finally getting over him. Nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it, Shauna. I think she's fronting or capping, whatever the kids say. Kenya says I hope Luke comes back to properly end the story. Yeah, me too. I really am. I'm like, I mean, this whole Luke is deaf off screen. It's never worked for me. Now, yeah, no, I believe that too. I believe that too, Kenya. I do. He just said I'm rooting for cancel win. Want to cancel win. I hate saying that, but yeah. Oh, okay. AJ, I mean, that's how you feel. Patrick said Hurd is not looking good for Esme or Nicholas in the legal system. Yeah, that's very true. Okay. Wow. One of the worst characters. It's just one of the worst characters, Samuel. Someone says, "Are you more of Streamyard or Zoom?" Shy, I'm more Streamyard. I'm more Streamyard. Mel says, "I think." I agree with that, Mel. I mean, at the end of the day, Mel, I get that Leo is, got Gwen's back and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, even Gwen after a while was like, "Yo, just chill out." Thomas says, anyone else think Phyllis is going to get a nice cold? Solomon, I've been hearing rumors about them hooking up, so I feel like it's possible. Freddie says, I'm still laughing as I'm thinking about Harmony coming down. Yeah, well, Freddie, she wasn't coming down from hell. I mean, she wasn't coming down from heaven. She was probably coming up from hell, if we're going to be honest. All right, AJ, if that's how you feel. It's awful? Jesus, okay. Um, Marsha. I was like, I don't know about all that. I mean, I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know. Even wishing, it's true, Marsha. But I'm just, it's true. Come on now, you know damn well she was not coming from heaven. But even wishing cancer on a fictional character is like, okay, it's a little kind of far. Hey, no, I'm sorry for that too, Marsha. I mean, I'm not trying to stifle people from their opinions and stuff. But for me personally, I was like, that's it's a little kind of, it's a little kind of wild there. But I think I'm gonna end the stream right here because I do have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Usually Wednesdays and Thursdays. Well, Fridays and Saturdays are my super early days. So, but I do want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank everyone for joining. I want to. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Joshua and Joshua and Zmore for being members. Jonathan, Anna for the super chats. Thank you, everyone. This was so much fun. Have a good night, Samuel. Have a good night, Zmore, Marshall, Solomon, Kenya, Marsha, Yvette, Freddie, J Blue, Patrick. Enjoy your vacation. Jonathan, thank you for this edition of Soap Chat. Yeah, I love that. I love that exit. I'm gonna try to use that. Oh, Anna B is in the chat. Have a good night, Anna B. Victoria, have a good night. Oh, nice, Marsha. I mean, Monique, nice. Darby, have a good night, Monique. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Laura B. Thank you, Zmar. Thank you. We're gonna have a lot of fun, um, in the exclusive live stream. So I definitely look forward to seeing you. Have a good night, Tracy. Have a good night, Mel. Thank you, Darby. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. It really does help out. We're getting new people all the time. Um, okay. All right, Jay. All right, AJ. You're entitled to your opinion. Have a good night, Monique. Have a good night, Mel. Yeah, Darby. Yeah, I haven't seen Cat Lady in a hot minute, so I hope she's doing good. Hopefully, I see it just. Hopefully, we'll see it through this weekend. Have a good night, CW. Have a good night, Shira. Cherie. Yeah, Cherie. Have a good night, Shira. I mean, Cherie. Have a good night, Cherie. Have a good night, AJ. You stay safe. It's always great seeing you. Have a good night, Becky D. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Samuel. It's always great to see you in the chat. So, the hell I am. Have a good night, Dara. AJ, I just, my whole thing is I don't want to sit there and block this person if they're not your voice, you know. And so far, Cherie hasn't said anything that's been like over the top or like racist or anything like that. So, um, you know, so I mean, like I said, as long as Cherie keeps it chill and just here just to talk and chop it up with people, you know, I'm cool with that. So I'm just hoping that that's what it is. Shauna says I love Willow. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you. Oh, okay, all right, Anna. Well, I hope you enjoy your time there. I look forward to you talking about it this weekend. Anyway, stay safe, everyone. Someone says where you leave. Okay. Someone says where you live. Oh, I'm in New York, Solomon. I'm in New York. Have a good night, AJ. But yeah, Solomon, I live in New York though. Yeah, no, I know what you meant. Yeah, no, Solomon, I live in New York. So I'm gonna sign off. Stay safe, everyone, and just thank you for making this live so fun. I actually did 2 hours in this, and my battery's still at. I didn't think it was actually going to go that further than that. Have a good night, Janet. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Shakira, Solomon. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you again.